Okay, so I'm back. I told you I wouldn't leave you hanging, so I got it back set up now, so we're all good to go. Um, I've covered all my bases as far as my personal experience with training and the interviewing process, and the best way to get this job if this is what you want to do. Um, let's go to the subject. What else can we do? Okay, so once you get through training is fun. It's 6 weeks of training. It is both stressful, but it's fun, if that makes sense, because you really want this and you're constantly like they put you to the test. They want to see. It's almost some of my friends call it Barbie doll boot camp. You got to keep yourself up and look decent, but they mentally work you in training. They want to see what you can do because if you think about it, like an airline training process is basically like with any other job. It's just an extended interview. Okay, like you said this to us in the interview, but now we're going to see if you're going to live up to it and do it. But yeah, it's 6 weeks, and it does go by pretty fast. The first week it seems like it's gonna take forever because you're constantly. I mean, you know, it's you really want it, so it is what it is. But yeah, training is just what it is. They test you, on the airplanes, and most people think that they just teach us how to serve stuff for like 6 weeks straight. I'm like, no. They spend. I think with our airline, they spend about close to a week on the different services that we have, depending on what destination you're going to. Um, so they spent about a week on that service. Everything else was all safety, security. Can't talk about it on here, but you'll see them talking about when you go to training. Um, yeah, so get through training, and then always check in for your flights. Your first flight is always your most exciting. Uh, for most of us, it is. I can't say that for all, but for me, it was exciting. I remember that like the night before, I was like a little kid going to Disney World. Couldn't sleep at all that night. Just couldn't wait to get on the plane to go see Walt Disney World and Mickey Mouse. That's kind of how it is with me and a lot of people. I think with like that are my age or anybody who's just starting out in this job who really wants it. Um, I know my first flight was going to Tampa on the 757. For those of you who know your airplanes, and I think it left at like 9 or 10 in the morning. They gave me the trip the day before at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I didn't sleep at all the whole night. I stayed up. This is wired. I must have like pressed my uniform, like ironed it and steamed it, dry cleaned it 4 times before I got on the plane. I was so into it, and I was at the airport 4 hours before departure. That's how excited I was, and I still get like that sometimes. Not as much because now I'm so used to it now. I know what to expect. But on your first day, it's kind of like, wow, what am I going to do today, or what's going to happen on the plane? That can be very exciting. And so that's the fun part. When I first started, I never forget that. Had a great crew. Uh, After that, my second trip, I remember my second. I remember everything up to my fourth trip. After that, everything between the fourth trip and 2 years later is all blurred. But because it goes by really fast. Time goes by really fast with the airlines. I think because so many of us, when you get hired, you will bid for your trips. Um, Depending on what some airlines, you may hold a line. A line is an actual schedule of where you're going, what time for the entire month. You may hold a line in 2 weeks. More than likely with a regional. Main line, it takes a little bit to hold a line. For the most part, most of us start out as reserve. So they basically just use you when they need to use you, more like backup flight attendants. And that could be fun. I don't think that I would really like to. Um, I can't see myself. That would kind of bore me. I told my friend a couple of days ago. I said I don't want to know where I'm going. That's kind of like the fun part. I don't have a family. I don't have kids. For those of you who want to do this, um, it's easier if you're single or if you're a housewife or a houseman and you have a spouse that pays all the bills, a breadwinner, and can take care of your kids, then this could be for you too. Everybody's different. Um, Being reserved, you're on call. You sit around, you wait for the phone to ring. Um, they could call you. I know with our airline, They can give you as little as 2 hours notice, or they more than likely they give you a day in advance, but it could be 2 hours in advance. So you always got to be ready, and you never know. Today you could be in New York, or you could be in Tokyo next week. You just never know. So that to me is exciting. That's still what I like about the job. The people, the passengers. It's funny because like from what I've noticed in my 2 years, maybe not every flight attendant feels this way, but different regions of the United States and different regions across the world, the type of people that you have on your planes are very different as far as cultural aspects or little things. You just pick up on that after a while. Like you can kind of tell how to act with certain people or how to approach them. You know, the way they don't like to be approached. um, Everybody here in the U.S. is pretty much the same on that page, but going overseas, their cultural aspects are a little bit different. Not that much though, because most of them know that we don't know any better. We're a U.S. We do know better, but we're a U.S. carrier, so we don't have to learn Hebrew or Japanese. We're not required to at some airlines, whereas their airlines that are in their country speak their language. So they already come on there understanding that, so that makes your job a little bit easier. Um, so much. I mean, it's been a big learning experience. I've been here 2.5 years, and I plan on doing it for a couple more years, maybe longer than that. Um, for the most part, I can see myself doing this, probably making a career out of it. But right now, I said, well, just let me see what happens in the next 2 years, just to go from there, and then see what happens. Co-workers, flight attendants, um, we're an interesting group of people. We're very crafty. Most of us are very intelligent, I would assume, because we travel so much and you just pick up on certain things. We're also very resourceful, and that can help you out, especially as a new hire. As a new hire, you don't make that much money with most airlines, because of the economy and the way things are in the world. That's every job right now. You don't make that much, but you learn how to improvise and how to live and still keep a smile on your face when you're at work. Um, some things that work for me, always keep a budget because you're going to need it for the first couple of years until you hit your fifth year. So I'm waiting 3 more years, till I get that boost. Um, Ramen noodles, a lot of you guys already know about those. Top ramen noodle, 10 for a pack, 10, what is it, 10 for a dollar. Um, I have eczema, so people who know about that, it's a severe skin condition. It's a dry skin condition. Your body gets really dry and your skin flakes because it's dried out. Um, you don't want to have a lot of sodium content, so I did that for a while. My skin kind of flared up. So let me lay off the ramen noodles, uh, because that's part of our job is keeping our appearance nice and neat. So you want to look good, you want to have good skin, or try to. I have my eczema flares up. Cortisone works for me. Homemade cream and tomato soup on the airplane. If you find yourself in a situation where, like some of my friends, or even myself, every now and then, you don't have money for food, Mr. and Mrs. T's Bloody Mary mix comes in handy. You just put that in a little mug, bring some cheese with you, put the cheese in there, put it in the oven for 10 minutes on medium, crush up your crackers and 3 packets of pepper. You got homemade tomato cheese cream soup. Maybe just a couple tablespoons of milk. So that's that. That is all for now. This is quick tips, as far as food and stuff like that that you could do to get by. So I'm running out of time again, but I will be back soon. So for all of you out here, keep applying and good luck. And maybe I'll see you on the line. Have a good one.